Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's great to be back. Paul Hickey here with nooffseason.com. Welcome to the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. I missed all of you guys on Monday's show, but thank you to Chad Guell and Andy Cason for filling in for Kendall and I, who were both out on Monday. But I am back today for the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. We didn't have one last week because I was on family vacation, and I know some of you are on family vacation here in July. Before the National. Got to get that family vacation knocked out before the National, where hopefully we can all see each other. For those of you who can't make it to the National, don't worry. We've got you in our minds and in our hearts. We're going to be creating a lot of content for you from the National. That's why we're going. We're going for you. So even if you can't make it, we're going to be doing a lot of content from the National, and then I'm going to be putting it out there throughout the week next week. So get pumped for that. And if you are able to make it, get pumped to see us at booth 3216 with our friends from Signs of the Times Collectibles, Tim Larson and his crew. Shout out. And Graybo's Sports Cards is basically bringing the Sports Card Strategy Show audience a meet and greet at Crust Brewing in Rosemont, Illinois from 7 to 9:30 p.m. on Thursday, July 27th. RSVP at nooffseason.com. Drink tickets and apps courtesy of Graybo's. So we thank our friends at Graybo's. Speaking of Graybo's, go to graybos.co and save 10% by using the promo code STRATEGY2023. We love them. They're the best. Get unlimited personalized advice at nooffseason.com to build your sports card investment portfolio. We are constantly improving that product. So I highly encourage you to go to nooffseason.com right now. Right as you're seeing this, right as you're hearing this, get a free 30-day trial. And then the last thing that I think you should do is go to marketmoversapp.com. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON to save 20% off for life after your free 14-day trial. Market Movers app is a great tool. We use it for all of our data that we talk about on the show and that we create on the website. So thank you to the great folks over at Market Movers, Sports Card Investor. We love you guys, and we're excited to see all of you who will be at the National face-to-face. And again, if you're not going to be at the National, shoot me an email at paul@nooffseason.com, and maybe I'll make sure that you get something a little special. All right, everybody, let's shout out the audience. We've got great crew in the chat. So if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, what we do is we stream live on YouTube, and then we upload it to Spotify and Apple right after the fact. So you're getting this. You're not able to participate in the live chat like you would be if you're on YouTube, but that's okay. This is a format that is good for everybody. It's good for YouTube. It's good for long form podcasting. So shout out to Oh My Shoes. Good morning to you. Shoes is usually one of the first ones in, if not the first one in. He says he's in BFE. I think he's on family vacation, or he's working. I know he's a very, very hard worker. So one of the other Shoes, good to see you. Thanks for getting in on the data or the Wi-Fi wherever you are from BFE. Cleo Cards, good morning to you. Cleo's awesome. Paul Schmidt's Buckeye Bill, good morning to you as well. We've got submissions from Buckeye Bill. We've got submissions from Shoes, of course. DKY Sports, good morning. Made it to a live show. DKY has been commenting on the YouTube shows after the fact, and we love you, DKY. Very, very excited that you are here for the live chat. Great to see you. Shoes is active. Shoes is on vacation. That's good. Good that you're taking some time with the family, Shoes. Shout out to Leslie and Junior Shoes and Mini Shoes. Brian Steeler 714, we love you. Good morning to you, our cardboard brother. Rocky Empire Sports Cards. Yes. We are live. Great to see you, Rocky. Rocky is a great contributor to the show. Southern Soccer Idiot, SSI in the house. He had a great submission a couple weeks ago. Great to see you, Kevin. Looking fly in the all icy white. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. I like the icy white. I've got the black. I wear black a lot, but I think that that's what makes the white pop when I go white. So I appreciate that. All right, so let's get into this episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. First up, you know this man. This man is the sports card doctor, aka Dr. Crack, Chad Guell, great member of the team here at nooffseason.com. And he's got something a little bit interesting. You've probably heard him talk about this in his L of the Week on the Sports Card Strategy Show, but he wants to show you what happened to one of the cards that he ordered that was not properly packed. And we think he got this resolved on eBay, but he wanted to take a little bit more time and show you guys how to properly package a card before shipping them after you sell them. So Dr. Crack, Chad Guell, take it away, man.
Sports Card Strategy Show viewers, this is how to not properly send a card. So I just received, I'm not going to show the name of the gentleman, but as I'm hoping to get this resolved through eBay, sent it in a padded envelope, sent a very nice invoice of the card that I bought. However, there was no proper packaging of this Shohei Ohtani. Sent it in a one-touch, no cardboard, nothing to support the card, and the card came completely destroyed. This is why packaging up cards when you sell them is so very important. I hope that we can use this video as a learning lesson of what not to do for any of our viewers when you're selling cards. Good morning, Sports Card Strategy Show and Tellers. Today, we are going to show you how to properly package a card when you sell a card. I had some very disappointing news. It was my L of the Week this week, if you guys were watching the Monday morning show. I ordered a Shohei Ohtani rookie card, Topps Update. I got it for quite a bit less than what they had been going for, so I was really excited to get the card. And the card came packaged in a bubble wrap mailer, which is good. However, they did not properly package it. So I'm going to show you what is the way not to do it, and then we're going to talk about how to properly do it. So here we go. So the card came in this envelope, and I cut it open. And I noticed right away that there was this crease on here, and I thought, oh no. And sure enough, the card came destroyed. Completely creased all the way through it because they sent it in a top loader without any type of support in the envelope. All right, so when you're going to ship a card, so I'm going to use a graded card for example here. You cut out two pieces of cardboard that are approximately the correct size. I like it to overlap just a little bit on the sides and the top to give it a little bit of cushion should there be any problems with the shipping. Then you take painter's tape because it's easy to get through. Somebody's not going to destroy or wreck or scratch a card trying to get it out of the painter's tape. Painter's tape comes off very easily. You go around the card once that way, and then you go around the card once this way. So when it's all said and done, you've got a nice support of cardboard on each side so that the card isn't going to do this. Now, I do this with the graded cards. I also do this if this is not a eBay standard envelope where it's under $20. Even if it happens to be a card that is in just a top loader, I will take cardboard and sandwich the card in between the cardboard to properly protect it. So this never happens. If you go to my eBay store, you'll see that my ratings are all perfect. And the number one thing that people comment is that the cards are packaged properly. So I want to show you how to continue to do that. So once the card is sandwiched with cardboard on both sides, I then get a bubble wrap envelope. I get the ones from eBay. If you have an eBay store, once a quarter they give you a free money to use on the eBay items. So my envelopes I basically get for free through eBay for having a store. I package it, I roll it, and then I put my label on top of it. This way the card is sandwiched between two pieces of cardboard. It's also got the bubble wrap mailer, but it's wrapped all the way nice and tight. So this card, no matter what happens, if this card bounces around at the post office, this card is not going to get bent or destroyed. I hope this helps, and I hope nobody else ends up getting any of their cards destroyed and that you don't ever have to buy a card back or pay any type of postage issues because you mispackaged a card. Have a great week, everybody. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Chad, we love you, man. That was amazing. Great job. And I think we all learned how to make Chad Guell mad. I think it's to ruin a card. I think if any card gets completely destroyed, as he put it, I think he's upset. And I think it's more about just the premise of a card going down the toilet than it is like actually his card going down the toilet. So Chad, thank you for that submission so that none of us ever do that. We really appreciate it. Brian Steeler 714 says, "Hey Paul, are you going to the National?" Brian, I assume you're making fun of the fact that I've said like a million times that I'm going to the National. So appreciate that, brother. Yes, I am going to the National. Leslie Alegria in the house. Good to see you, Leslie. You and Shoes. Shoes says you guys are camping right now with the boys. So appreciate both of you guys being such great members of the nooffseason.com family to join during your camping trip. Hopefully this episode makes your camping trip even more fun than it probably already is. Before we get to our next submission, I'll say hello to Mark Drzinski here in the comments. Seems like the last couple of Bowman autos I've gotten $30 cards. I've had some very fine scratches. Probably wouldn't even get a PSA 9. What would you recommend? Just buy graded? Well, I think first of all, like if there's scratches on them there, sell them raw, keep them, sell them raw. Don't get them graded. You might still be able to make money off of them. And by not getting them graded, I mean, I think you're still on the up and up in terms of, just flipping them. I don't think I would totally bail on the idea of buying raw and getting graded. I think that, for the most part, it may depend on the year, Mark, because I'll be honest with you, like a lot of 2022 and 2023 Bowman cards that I've either pulled or bought raw off of eBay and then had graded, I've gotten a lot of 10s. I know Lefty and Chad have as well. So I think it might depend on the year. I mean, if these are a little bit older, I think there's higher probability of scratches because they've been potentially taken in and out of different holders. But I wouldn't totally bail. But I would say definitely don't get any graded that are scratched. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, DKY Sports says you're so excited for a card and your dreams get crushed when it's destroyed. I really think that that's exactly what happened with Chad. Okay, so Steeler 714. Yeah, okay. He's talking about Paul Schmitz. Yeah, he's saying, is Paul Schmitz going to the National? I won't speak for Paul Schmitz, but I have a feeling that he might be coming to the National. And Steeler 714 is going to do some great content with us. We're going to do something with Onyx, right? And we're going to do if Buckeye Bill brings the Star Wars set, we should all get together and do something there at booth 3216. So DKY Sports says they've had great success with Bowman Mojos. So yeah, Bowman Mojos versus Bowman Autos. I think that my answer stands regardless of what we're talking about. But great question. So again, for any of you who aren't familiar with the Sports Card Strategy Show, this is the show and tell on Thursdays where we go around and let the audience show and tell us what they're doing in the hobby and what they think is interesting that they want to talk about. Mondays, we do the main show, the Sports Card Strategy Show, where Chad, Lefty, and I go through all of our plays and our advice in terms of how we think you can make money, things to do, things to avoid. And I think that, we're going to continue to follow that format for the foreseeable future. Thanks to those of you who are new to the show. From an audience perspective, we always welcome your feedback. Email me at paul@nooffseason.com. But up next in the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell is another familiar face for those of you who have been around with us for a long time. And if you're listening, you'll recognize the voice. Chase Crim of Texas Roadshow Shop has some great things to show and tell us about from the Dallas Card Show. Chase, take it away, man.
What's up, Sports Card Strategy Show? It's your boy Chase from Texas Roadshow Shop. This week's show and tell, I'm gonna show y'all some of the pickups that we got at the past Dallas show, where I also got to hang out with Oh My Shoes, who will probably be at the end of the video with his excellent video editing. But right now I'm gonna show and tell you about some cards I picked up. Start off with some baseball. Juan Soto, finest auto orange out of 25. On card, always love on card stuff. Kenny Pickett, select. I would say RPA, but it's not really a patch. But out of 10. I will say Kenny Pickett is the one rookie quarterback that I am kind of buying. For my UFC fans out here, Valentina Shevchenko, what I feel like a lot of people would say is the second best women's fighter of all time behind Nunez. She had an insane fight streak, as Cheeto's trying to eat my food. She had an insane fight streak. She lost her last fight, but she's fighting again for the title in September. 1 of 1, Octagon Marvels. Can't go wrong with it. Next up, Bobby Witt, Topps rookie, Desert Camo out of 25. Beautiful card, rookie. I made some purchase on this guy a couple shows ago, but another Jim Brown auto. I love just on card. Well, it's kind of on card, but I just love autos of legends, especially those that have passed. This is out of 32 on the back. 1 off jersey number, Jim Brown auto, can't go wrong. Long-term hold. LeBron James game use flawless dual patch out of 20. This was a cool card. Picked this up in the lot with a Dennis Rodman 1 of 1 flawless auto. This is why I like picking up 1 of 1. So I bought the 1 of 1. Basically, I bought the 1 of 1 and flipped it the same day. And so basically, what I value the 1 of 1 at when I bought it versus what I sold, I'm into this LeBron card for 140 bucks. And as you can see by the price tag, we had it stickered at 1200. We always try and sticker our cards close to comps at shows, and then we'll always come down a little bit from that comp. Here's a PC item, 2010 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor, Dez Bryant. That's right, Dez Bryant. Why pay for Justin Jefferson and all these young receivers when you can spend a lot less money and pick up 2 of these guys? I also picked up a Julio Jones Contenders auto, but it's somewhere in my backpack and I couldn't find it. So the Julio Jones I picked up for 100 bucks. It was a BGS 9, and then I forgot how much I paid on that, but it wasn't much. Not nearly.
And for those of
as much
you
as, like, a Justin
listening,
Jefferson or Jamar
that
Chase would
is a
be.
Devontae Adams.
Peyton Manning exquisite auto. Got a couple Mannings coming up. Manning's very, very affordable compared to other great quarterbacks, especially current ones.
Peyton Manning autos.
So 2 autos there.
Play, actually.
2001 playoff honors. So for instance, another rookie quarterback whose prices are getting pretty high right now, Jalen Hurts, National Treasures booklet, RPA out of 99. I am a Cowboys fan, but I do love me some Jalen Hurts. I think he's the real deal. And then here's my personal favorite purchase of the show. This is a National Treasures Shield Auto 1 of 1 of Devin Hester.
Devin
One of
Hester.
my favorite cards I picked up in a while, and
Falcons
for
uni.
shield autos, pretty affordable. So again, with that, my 1-of-1 plan, I talked about it in the earlier show. Related to a comp, when you're buying, bring up a comp that you see that might help, set the floor of it. So for this one, there's another Treasures shield auto, but the auto's stickered, and it was 2,400. He had this stickered at 25. I got this for 2K. And so I feel like this is a lot more valuable than the stickered one. So that's why I got that. I do like Devin Hester, but it's also just a cool card to have. Game used, by the way, game used shield. So yeah, those are some of my pickups from the Daus show. I was excited to run into Oh My Shoes. I can't wait till next week, national time, meet up with the rest of you. I will not be at the main hangout thing because I think that's on the Thursday night, and we're sponsoring trade night. But come on by the booth. We're gonna be in like the corporate side. So come hang out. Come buy some cards from me. If you want to sell cards, we're always buying, and I hope to see y'all there. Paul, I'm handing it back to you. Hope everyone has a good week.
Chase, you're the man. So a couple things there. I mean, Chase is always showing cards that for some of us might not be as achievable, but they're kind of on the achievable side of high-end stuff. And I think that that's important to note because I think this is stuff that Lefty Chad and I are kind of always trying to move up to get. We talk a lot on the show about cards that are, I would say, under $500 for an initial investment. Chase is typically looking at cards that are 2 or 3 times that with his initial investment. And so it may seem like a really big leap, but if you think about it, like if you're going to buy 2 or 3 $500 cards in a month, Chase is like what he's showing us and telling us about are cards that would basically be like, instead of us buying 3 to 5 cards a month, we may be buying 1 card a month with our budget or whatever. And I know we all have different budgets, and that might be super achievable for a lot of us, but some of us might only be able to afford one of those a year, right? But I think that when you have, there's some advantages to think about doing it that way rather than look at nooffseason.com. We talk a lot about all these bulk plays, which is great. I love the bulk plays where we're saying buy 10 of these, buy 20 of these, get them graded at PSA. A lot of times that is a faster way to make money off of it. But I think a lot of the cards that Chase shows reminds me to tell you guys about, hey, like if you were to hold off on a lot of the bulk plays for like 3 months, you would have enough money to go buy one of those cards that Chase is showing us. Now, a couple other things that come to mind from Chase's submission. It's critical that you hear what he said, where he said, we price our cards close to comps, and then we always come down off of our prices. So we talk a lot on the show about card show strategies. Always, always, always make offers to the vendors to go down, and then they will come down off their sticker price. If they don't come down off their sticker price, there's a table right next to them or right across from them that will. So I would definitely remember Chase and his brother Cody and everybody at Roadshow Cards, and Chase and Cody are Texas Roadshow Cards, but they're affiliated with Roadshow Cards, Jimmy from Lexington and all those great people. So all of those guys are in it to keep people in the hobby. They're not in it to scalp you or try to make as much money as possible off of you like some of the other dealers are. So anyway, Chase, great work. And another thing about Chase is we've added him to our team as someone who is going to be answering premium member questions on the Overflow show. So again, if you're a premium member at nooffseason.com, you're able to ask us as many questions as you want to ask us by filling out the form at nooffseason.com to submit your question, get personalized advice. When you fill out that form, that triggers our team to answer your question on an upcoming episode of the Overflow Show, which is for premium members. So Chase has been added to our team. So now we have Chad, Lefty, Chase, myself, currently all answering your premium member questions on the Overflow Show. So again, an interesting strategy from Chase about, instead of maybe buying Justin Jefferson cards, Jamar Chase cards that are more expensive, he's going after Dez Bryant, Devontae Adams, those guys. May or may not agree with Chase on the Dez Bryant call, but the Devontae Adams call is certainly a value play that could pay off versus a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Leslie Allegria says that's how she feels about male soccer. She'd rather get the older guys. And that makes sense. Like, if you have a knowledge of soccer like Leslie does, that's probably far exceeds my knowledge of soccer. She could probably go out and tell us a lot of different legends on the male side to go by, rather than maybe some of the prospects that we talk about. So great work by Chase. All right, up next, we've got a new face. Not to me, because I've been DMing this guy on Instagram. Ben Dous is in the house. Daus in the house. New face for all of you. New voice for the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. Ben, thanks for the submission, man. Take it away.
What is up, Sports Card Strategy Show community? I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Ben Dous, and I cannot wait to get into my first show and tell submission today. But first, I'd just like to start off by thanking Paul, Chad, and Lefty for all their hard work they put in every week to make this happen. I always enjoy listening to the Monday shows so much, and they've helped me move up in the ranks in sports cards very, very quickly. Gotta give props to Paul for being early on Cam Thomas and helping me flip some of his cards back in February, and especially Lefty for urging the audience to buy Ellie De La Cruz as well. And obviously Chad for all of his expertise, and it's something you can only get from someone who's been in the game for a while. So these plays and advice have helped me to attain most of the cards I'm about to show you. So without further ado, let's get into my submission. So for today, for my submission, I would like to show you guys some cards that I have submitted to PSA. Rather than just show you a bunch of cards slabbed up, I want to show you some cards that I've submitted, but also explain why I submitted them and what I plan to do with them, to hopefully bring some value to you guys watching. So you'll see here that I have a lot of variety. I like a lot of different stuff, and hopefully this can help you guys out and maybe spark some new ideas. And yeah, let's get into it. So first sport I'll start with is baseball. I have one baseball card. This one is Topps Chrome X Factor PSA 10 O'Neal Cruz rookie. So on the pod, the guys have been talking a lot about O'Neal Cruz's return to injury, and yeah, hopefully he can come back healthy and play like he was playing in the beginning of the year. And yeah, Pirates are a great, young, fun team to watch. So it's kind of my thought process behind this O'Neal Cruz. Would like to get into some of his Bowman stuff at some point, but just don't have a lot of baseball stuff at the moment. So definitely trying to work on getting some more baseball stuff in, for sure. All right, so my next card is actually a tennis card. So this is a pretty cool story. My mom plays tennis, and I enjoy watching tennis with my mom. And one of the players that she enjoys watching is Coco Gauff. And we like watching Coco together and tracking her progress. She is a young star, very young actually. She's 19 years old, and I think Coco's cool. She's super cool. She has her own shoe with New Balance. But the play with Coco is she's very young. She hasn't won a major yet, and hopefully she can accomplish that in the near future. She's been pretty close a couple times, and hopefully winning her first major will spike her prices, and yeah, I can flip this at that point. But just such a cool looking card. This is her PMG from Skybox Metal Universe, and this is her orange PMG number 200. This one got a PSA 8, which isn't a bad grade for these PMGs. So yeah, overall pretty happy with this, and hopefully we'll make for a nice play. So next up, I have 3 UFC cards, 2 of which are Patty the Batty Plimlet cards. So Patty the Batty is he is obviously a UFC fighter from Barstool, and he's undefeated in his fights. I watched his last fight against Jared Gordon, and I actually thought he should have lost to Jared Gordon. Came out to a decision, and yeah, but he's undefeated, so I've still been buying his cards and grading them in anticipation for his next fight, so I can sell them before that next fight and hopefully cash in on some of the hype. And so here's two of the cards I submitted. This one is his Optic Hollow PSA 10. Pretty cool one there. Nice liquid card. And this one was a cool one. I found at a show. And this is from Chronicles. This is his Spectra Purple, number 49, PSA 10. So pretty cool one there. And my last UFC card I actually have not graded yet, but I will be looking to grade very soon. This is actually Bo Nickel, and Bo Nickel's pretty cool. I knew of him previously. He was a D1 wrestler at Penn State, which I'm actually from the Philly, Pennsylvania area. So yeah, I knew of him as a wrestler at Penn State. Penn State wrestling is always very good. But man, this guy is pretty hyped right now. I'm glad I got this card when I did. His last fight was like last weekend, and the fight was over in 30 seconds. It was actually really unfair watching it. It ended so quickly, and he just looks like he could be a beast. I saw that he was like the highest UFC favorite ever at like minus 2,000, maybe 3,000 or something like that, which is crazy. So there's a lot of hype around Bo right now. Hopefully he gets a big fight at some point, and he can show off what he's got. So pretty cool card of his. This is his Prism Silver, and yeah, hoping to send this one in soon. So that's it for UFC. We're moving on to basketball now. So I mentioned earlier that I had flipped some Cam Thomas thanks to Paul, but believe it or not, I'm actually still a very big believer in Cam Thomas. Obviously with him being on the bench, I think he still has some juice left in him. I think he can. I think he's going to be a starter hopefully at some point this year, or get traded. Who knows? But I'm still a pretty big believer in Cam. So this first card I actually bought, it's actually a pretty big card. I bought this one raw, graded myself. This is his Optic Rookie White Sparkle PSA 10.
Love it.
This one's actually a pop 1 at the moment. So this is the only PSA 10 of this card right now. Yeah, pretty excited about Cam. I think he can be a great player. Obviously, a lot of the criticism behind Cam is that he isn't great on defense and needs to be better at passing the ball. While both those things may be true, I just don't think it will matter if he's putting up 30, 40 points.
Agree.
When he's playing, So, and I think he can do that. He's proven he can do that. So yeah, he needs to get some more minutes. But I have two more Cam Thomases real quick. This is his Prism Rookie. This is his Blue Ice PSA 10. And this is a pretty cool one because it is numbered to 125, but it is number 24 of 125, which is his jersey number.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's a pretty cool, just makes his card a little bit more special. So very cool one there. PSA 10 Blue Ice. I love the Prism stuff. And this one, again, hasn't been slabbed up, but will be in one of my next submissions. Another rookie of Cam Thomas Select.
So I'm going to interrupt Ben here because this is such a phenomenal submission, and I don't want to forget to kind of throw this question out there to the group. Chad Guell's in the house, by the way. Chad's going to be able to answer this one for us. I believe either, if not right now, definitely in the future. So Ben, that card, the Prism PSA 10 that he showed a minute ago of Cam Thomas, the blue, number to 125, basically number 24 out of 125, which is currently Cam Thomas's jersey number. It was my jersey number in varsity basketball, by the way. So number 24 holds a special place in my heart, Sean Respert. And so, however, I don't believe that that's his jersey number on the card. So if it is his jersey number on the card, I didn't see it properly, and I apologize. But my question is, regardless of whether or not it's his jersey number in the photo on the card, is it still technically, like, a good example would be like if you get a LeBron James serial numbered 23 out of 100 or out of 99, but in the card he's number 6. on his jersey. Is it still technically a jersey number match on the serial number? Like how do collectors value that? I want to know. I don't need to know now, so don't feel obligated to start throwing stuff in the comments unless you really have something intelligent to say about it. But I would pose that to the audience, to the family, and would love to know what you guys think. Other breaking news before we get back to Ben Dous's submission and giving me all the Cam Thomas love, which, by the way, I agree with Ben. I think actually I still believe in Cam Thomas. And I think that right now he's like bargain basement prices, and he's still nuts. And so you should probably go out and maybe spend little bit of your flyer budget on some Cam Thomas. Andy Cason is in the house. Yes, I am back on the airwaves. Andy, let's go. Sports Card Strategy, crushing it. Love you, my man. We've got a lot going on, a lot planned with Andy. So excited to have him in the house. And Chad obviously is here at his son's baseball tournament. All right, Ben, you're getting the love here too, man, from your first ever submission. Back to you to round us out the rest of your Sports Card Strategy show and tell submission, brother.
This one's number 49. Whoops. But it's number 24. 49.
That's a jersey number match for sure,
yeah,
right?
Another cool Cam Thomas card. And
jersey number 24
hopefully
in the photo.
We can make some plays on Cam Thomas this NBA season. All right, so without further ado, our last sport is football. Now that it is July, obviously the quarterback hype cycle is in full effect, and I'm glad I could get some of these graded in time for the hype cycle to begin. So I'll show you the first two are cards of Jalen Hurts. This is his PSA 10 Optic Holo. This one was actually an SGC 10. Cracked it out, sent it to PSA, and it got a PSA 10, which is awesome. Obviously the guys talk a little bit about cracking on the show, so that was kind of my first experience cracking and resubmitting to PSA, so that was awesome. And then this next one is his Green Velocity PSA 10 Optic, which is an awesome one as well. That's a very cool one.
Well done. Love that.
So obviously I mentioned I'm from the Philadelphia area, so can't go wrong submitting Jalen Hurts right now. There's decent amount of hype behind the Eagles, and he's pretty liquid right now, and he's a lot cheaper than a lot of the other quarterbacks that people are buying in the market right now. So I feel like you can't really go wrong buying Jalen Hurts and grading it and flipping it before the season starts. So that's kind of my strategy with that. And last but not least, I have one more quarterback. It's a little bit of a sleeper play, but I think it will play out decently well for me, hopefully, fingers crossed. And that sleeper is Jared Goff.
Okay.
So my thought process behind buying Goff cards is that I think the Lions will be a really good team this year. Obviously, that offense is looking pretty solid. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a pretty good year last year. They're going to be getting Jameson Williams back a couple games in this season. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. I just think they're going to be a really, really solid offense. And, Jared Goff's cards are so cheap. This is a PSA 10. It's only $100, and that's probably over the last comp. This is his red and yellow Optic PSA 10. And this was another one I submitted. This is his Select Silver Prism. This pop is just under 40, I think, in PSA 10, which is crazy compared to some of the cards now. Obviously hoping that Jared Goff can help the Lions win some games and hopefully spike his prices. I also have one more. I didn't submit it, but just figured I would show you. It's his Origins
Jared
RPA
Goff,
little 3-color patch on that guy. So Jared Goff is my sleeper play, and that's it. That's all I got. Is just kind of the thought process behind some of the cards I'm buying and submitting, and hopefully you guys can take something away from this and go make something happen. So that's all I got today. If you guys want to connect with me on Instagram, my Instagram is @BensCardboard, all one word. I know I do follow Paul and I do follow Chad. So, yeah, hopefully we can talk some sports cards on there as well and just connect. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
And you have a good one as well. Thanks for the love, man. Came in showering us with love, showering us with compliments, and then basically brought the heat from all sports. I mean, he had UFC, he had Coco Goff from women's tennis, and then he had some Cam Thomas fire, which I agree with. And then he rounded us out with some football, some Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff. Perfect timing for Andy Cason to join us, and he agrees with your Jared Goff plays. When you get a brain emoji from a brain like Andy, you know you're onto something good, Ben. So good work. I would highly encourage that you follow Andy on Instagram as well, and on YouTube. Football Card Quest, phenomenal content there. So Ben, great work. Keep coming back, man. Appreciate you being part of the nooffseason.com family. And for those of you who don't know this story, another member of the nooffseason.com family made a transaction with me at Culture Collision this year and recognized my voice and said, I think I listen to you while I'm farming on my tractor every week. Are you Paul Hickey from the Sports Card Strategy Show? And I said, yes. And he said, I'm Joe. And so that's how Farmer Joe was born. But he's been a regular on the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. Mosaic Farmer Joe is back in the house, and he always makes us inspired to make sports card plays. Mosaic Joe, why don't you take it away, my man?
Mosaic Joe here again with another submission. I've been working my tail off for the past few weeks. We've had some storm damage from some pretty nasty storms that have rolled through the North Georgia region. I'm sure, Paul, you probably got a little bit in Tennessee, but yeah, we had an actual tornado touchdown on this property 2 Sundays ago. So we've got trees down everywhere. We've got lots of work to do. But nobody got hurt. None of the structures got hurt. Yeah, life's good. So I'm ending my day off playing with cards, talking about cards. So yeah, can't complain, right? All right, guys, I hope you like the submission. And if any of you guys want to get in touch with me about any of these cards, just reach out to me on Instagram at Mosaic Joe. The first card is this Topps Museum collection from 2019, Ryan O'Hearn Rookie Patch Auto. It is a sticker auto. It's serial numbered 101 out of 299, and it is game-used memorabilia in the card. I paid $5 for this card. Ryan O'Hearn is currently having the best season of his career, playing for the Orioles, and he is the starting first baseman, batting .302, whereas his previous best batting average with the Royals was .239. So he's definitely jiving well, and I feel like at $5, it's a no-brainer. This next card is a 2018 Museum Collection Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon is the current starting first baseman for the Colorado Rockies. He just signed a 6-year, $70 million contract, and he's having a pretty decent year. He's batting .260. He's 28 years old, so he's still fairly young. And I got this card for $11. The next card is this 2021 Bowman Chrome First Refractor of Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill is in a great farm system with the Padres. He grew up in Maryland, which is where I grew up, and so I've heard about him for a little while. And one of the main reasons I've heard about him is because he is the highest drafted baseball prospect out of Maryland since 1986. I don't know who the other person was, but just kind of the metrics on this kid. He's a 20-year-old, 6'3" shortstop. I doubt that he's going to stay with the Padres at shortstop, since they've pretty much got that solidified for a while. But yeah, I think he's got some potential, and if not, I mean, he's a homeboy for me, so I'll just keep it in my collection. This next card is the 2013-2014 Panini National Treasures. Springfield Swatches Hall of Fame commemorative patch, game used patch of Karl Malone. And this card is numbered 1 out of 49. Or as we call in the industry, it's bookended. 1 and 49 would be the bookends. So this card was listed at, I think it was $12, $11, and I was able to get it with the shipping and taxes for $15. No brainer. The next card is this 2022 Topps Tier 1 Jaren Duran rookie card. It is a on-card red ink auto, number 13 of 25. Very, very pretty card. I'm going to end up sending this out for grading. I think this is a hold for a little bit, of course, until the end of this season, because this is a contract season for him. Jaren Duran is currently on a 1-year, $750,000 contract, I believe, and he is lighting it up. The last couple weeks, he's had some really great games. Last week, he hit a 5 for 5, and then that streak followed into the next game. So he ended up 7 for 7 before his streak ended. And he is the starting center fielder for the Red Sox, and he's batting leadoff. So I think that this card has a lot of potential in the real near future.
It's a great looking card too.
So this one I had to do. I had the out of 99, which I got fairly cheap. But this one, it cost me. This is a 2022 CJ Stroud on-card auto, serial numbered 7 of 10. That's a jersey number, 7 of 10. And I got it for out the door about $460. I spent quite a bit on it. I may have spent too much on it, but I'm taking a real gamble with this one because I feel like him not having professional signed product, and if he comes out and he starts performing, having a card like this is as close as I can get right now financially to having a 1 of 1 or anything of that nature. So I'm hoping that these Topps Now, this is the Bowman Next Topps Now, I hope that these Topps Now products prove to keep giving me wins. I had that Shohei Ohtani win that was pretty awesome. Being able to land that out of 10 Shohei was a big one for me. So that sold me that it can happen. So I went ahead and I spent the money and I got this CJ Stroud and hope it pays off. I am considering sending it off for PSA grading since the autograph is authenticated. I am not going for auto grades. I've seen some of these graded, and you'll see a PSA 10 with 8 auto grades. So I am not doing that. I'm sending it just for standard authentic or standard grading, and you know the autograph is already authenticated, and I don't have to worry about having a low grade auto. Okay, so this is my last card. This is the 2022-23 Select Concourse Chet Holmgren Light Blue Prism, numbered 50 out of 299. This card cost me about $129, I want to say, and it's beautiful. I'm going to be sending it off for grading, and it hopefully will do well. I know that Chet is looking like himself again, and it's got me excited. So I am buying Chet, and I think he's a good investment right now. His entry point can be pretty low if you're not going after rarity. If you're going after just bulk, you can load up on a lot of his silver prisms and silver select court sides, and you can get into a handful of them and you know, spend $100 to $200, and you can have quite a few of them and get them all graded and profit. So that's what this is all about, right? Is turning these cards that you get into at a low entry point and making them profitable. And that's a play, and I think Chet is one of those. I think he's a play. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If there's any of the cards, like I said before, if there's any of the cards that you guys want, reach out to me. Mosaic Joe on Instagram. I am always willing to work a deal. Now you know my entry point on my prices, though. So you're going to have to pay a little bit up. All right, guys. Enjoy your day.
Mosaic Farmer Joe. Great stuff. Hit him up on Instagram, Mosaic Joe. He's the Mosaic Farmer Joe, and he is super knowledgeable, very smart. I would definitely follow everything that he does with his cards because he's kind of running the gambit. Similar to Lonnie Conley in a way, but with his own style of being able to just kind of look at deals from all different sports, all different angles, not be afraid to go into the bargain bins, but then also not be afraid to buy cards like the CJ Stroud, which is, definitely a little bit higher end. Really in that range I talked about earlier on in the show, though, that $400 or $500 range on the quote unquote higher end stuff. So great stuff from Mosaic Joe. The Jaron Duran card I thought was a great looking card. So a lot of baseball there from Joe and some football and some basketball. He's buying Chet. We know Chad from an earlier episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show said he would sell Chet, but I could see Chet being a buy and a sell because if you've been holding Chet, you're selling him because he's up and the summer league performance gave people a lot of hope. And so now you have this growing market for Chet again. So in that instance, it's a good time to sell Chet. On the other side, if you're like Joe and to a certain extent myself, looking at, okay, what can happen from a hype standpoint in October and November with the NBA season tipping off soon and who's priced low right now, potentially compared to where they will be priced in October and November. Chet's one of those guys. So I see Chet as someone who's going both ways on the buying and the selling, which is really key because I think in order to make things work, you have to have that market that's interested in both. And so I think Chet fits that profile right now. I think also Mosaic Joe on the Tops Now play, back to his CJ Stroud. I mean, if you weren't familiar with what he was talking about with his Ohtani play, if you're newer to the show or you missed that episode, he bought so Tops Now, for those of you that don't know, they release for a certain period of time. Typically it's 2 to 3 days. They will allow people to order cards that are produced based on moments that happened in that particular week. And so this was the World Baseball Classic earlier this year where Ohtani faced off against Trout. Ohtani was pitching. Mosaic Joe thought, hey, that's a great Tops Now play to go ahead and buy. I believe he bought for Tops Now, you can buy like 20 cards for basically $90. And so I think that was the play that Joe made. And then you have a chance at a parallel, a serial numbered parallel of that. And I think within that 20 card lot, he got out of 10. And so that was a huge win for him because I think a card like that would sell for several $100s. And they also grade well. So I like the idea of maybe getting that Stroud graded. I think so. Also, one other note on that, Tops Now had a Bowman Next brand. And so that CJ Stroud auto, on card auto, was a Bowman Next Top Now card. And I think that the Bowman brand carries a lot of weight. And even though it's not a Bowman First, it's a Bowman Next. It's technically, I believe it came out before his Bowman Firsts did in the university set. So I could be wrong on that. But either way, I think it's a great CJ Stroud play. Ziggy No in the house. Good to see you. Ziggy, you're the man. Not sure if you're going to be at the National, but if you are, let me know. I would love to meet up with you face to face and invite you to all the stuff that we have going on. All right. Up next, my guy, nooffseason.com's very own Ryan Painter puts a lot of thought and effort into his content, and he's just an overall great guy with a lot of great energy. So Ryan, what do you have cooked up for us today, my man?
What up, Sports Card Strategy fam? Ryan Painter here. Wanted to give a little show and tell action here. We're going to start with the L of the week. And it's actually not this, but it's kind of this. Let me explain. This is a 2022 Collegiate NT. This box has already been opened, but I bought a case of it, and this was one of the few pieces of wax that went up like crazy. So I bought into this at maybe, I don't know, I think it averaged maybe about $550 per box. And sure enough, this thing is shot up to $950. The reason that is an L is I didn't realize this, but on my slabs, I had left a box of it, the last box of the case, on there, sold it for $550. Then fees, which aren't too bad on my slabs, but then I had to ship it. Oh, I got like $500 back on a $950 box. Brutal. Win of the week. As you can see, I love my 2020 Nick Chubb Mosaics. I got my Genesis, the blue. I got the red out of 80. I believe that's 49, 25, and 25 in the SGC slab. And I found one. Woo! Let's add it, baby. Purple no huddle to 50. It's just hard to find these things to come up. So the rainbow search continues. I do think that's one of the more fun parts of the hobby. I've got a few others that I'll show you. As you can see, I got my SI for kids in the back. Shout out to a previous episode. I don't know what to do with those. I don't know how to tear these bad boys out. But I've got my cards here. I think it's that Caleb Williams that's going to be the big one. But teach me, Sports Card Strategy Show. What's the best way to pull those puppies out? I hear if you cut them, they lose all value.
Yeah, don't.
So anyway, look forward to hearing back on that. What else I got? I'm keeping it short and sweet. Just a couple of pickups. I like James Cook. I just think he's got a good shot. I was able to pick this up for under 20. Khalil Shakir, I don't know. We'll see. Under 20. I like Jake Ferguson this year. I know they picked up a second-year tight end, but Dak loves his tight ends, and this guy's next in line. So there's not a lot out there. So it was pretty pricey. It was like $20, maybe a little under 20 for a Ferguson Phoenix. But hey, I picked one up. I think he'll shine. And then I did a little article. I just have this sneaking suspicion Jacoby Brissett will be leading the Washington Commanders. I almost said Redskins. Commanders to the playoffs, and there you go. Anyway, love you guys. Awesome. Good stuff. Later, bye.
Ryan Painter, we love you too, man. That was phenomenal. Just bringing it real strong, real quick. Nick Chubb and collegiate NT football. Definitely hear you on the My Slabs thing. One of the reasons why, I mean, I love My Slabs and I love buying on My Slabs, but I actually stopped selling on My Slabs because I was getting myself into a similar situation as Ryan did. And the reason you guys, for those of you who don't know, I'm an auction guy. Andy knows that. Chad, Lefty, a lot of the audience members know that I talk about, I'm more of an auction guy. And I don't typically list a whole lot of cards out there for buy it now because it just kind of, when I list the card for auction, I know it's going to sell. I know I don't have to repeat my efforts. If it's a buy it now, I have to go back and I have to do something else online, or I have to pull it down manually and then relist it as an auction. So my preference is, and I've had a lot of success at maximizing the value of the card from an auction standpoint. Getting people to bid against one another, I think is how you do that. And so when you have a buy it now, I understand that you can set the price, you can set the different offer amounts and all that. I've done all that. What I was doing is I was putting it on My Slabs and on eBay. Well, I got myself into a lot of trouble because if a card would sell on eBay and I would forget to take it down off of My Slabs, then it would sell on My Slabs. Then I'd have to go back, email the person, say, I'm sorry, take it, refund their money through PayPal. That takes a minute, blah, blah, blah. You can also get caught in the trap that Ryan got caught into, which is having it priced too low. Maybe you have it priced higher on eBay, but you forget that you also listed it on My Slabs. I think that's a very, very common problem or common occurrence. So anyway, feel you on that, Ryan. The other thing you mentioned, Sports Illustrated for kids. It's kind of like cracking slabs. You have to try it. You're going to screw it up. So I would try it on a sheet of cards where there's not a valuable card within the sheet, or at least on so for example, if the most valuable card in the sheet is like the middle one, like the Holland one of the example you just showed, I would tear it out from the left side. Like you're always, basically the way that I do it, I've talked about this on the show before. Maybe I'll do a show and tell where I do it. So that could be coming soon because I've done it a lot. And the way that I do it is I take the cover off. Once you take the cover off, the card sheet is usually like the second page. So you take the cover and the first page off, and now you're just looking at the card sheet. Then you take the card sheet out of the staples. You have to be, I think the biggest thing is you have to be careful not to like bend the cards at first when you're doing all that. But if you're careful doing that, you should have a somewhat pristine card sheet. From there, you're basically just bending the perforation until it's like super easy to just take one hand on one card, one hand on the other, just have clean, dry hands and just separate your hands out. And then it's like butter. The perforation just spreads and you're good to go. I know it's easier said than done, but I would encourage you to try it on something that is not valuable, get the hang of it, and then you'll be able to do it on something that is more valuable. And it's kind of like cracking slabs. Like the first time you crack a slab, do it on a slab that was like you paid $15 for the card, and or for the entire slabbed card, and practice that way. Paul Schmidt says that CJ Stroud is the offensive rookie of the year, and DKY Sports comes back and says, I like this. If I could like a comment, I'd give it 10 likes. People will see that Stroud was the best QB in the draft. Schmitz agrees. I don't know if Andy Cason's still in the house, but we'd love to get Andy's thoughts on what these guys are saying there. And up next, another Ryan. You know this guy, Mr. Ryan Borowski. Take it away.
Hey, everybody from the Sports Card Strategy Show. Hope all of you guys are doing well. I had quite a week. Just going to go through that briefly, and then I'll get to the play. So me and my wife traveled to California last weekend, or I guess it was 10 days ago or so. And we spent some time with my family and then traveled a little bit SoCal, which was absolutely gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go, just in the sense of if you like landscape and just like the way, the geography of things changes, it's just an amazing place. But we got to go to a Padres game. I'm actually wearing a Padres hat. Let me turn it around here. There you go, Padres hat. And I am a Padres fan. So I've been a Padres fan for about 4 years now. I'm not a Phillies fan. I know most of you guys know that I'm from Philadelphia, or at least the suburbs of Philadelphia, but I'm not a Philadelphia Phillies fan. I decided to jump ship. I went 4 years ago. I went to a Padres game out in San Diego, and I just absolutely loved it. And this is when they were pretty bad. They did have Tatis, some upcoming players, but they were not good. That experience was just awesome. It was Petco Park is just an awesome stadium. I'm sure there's other ones that rival it, but nothing that I've been to so far. And they have all kinds of food. You can get like sushi. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that kind of a thing with baseball parks. I know in Philadelphia it's like hamburgers and hot dogs and chicken, and that's about it. They don't have sushi for sure. They have Philly cheesesteaks, of course, but no sushi. Anyway, so we were there for about a week. We got to travel a little bit. I guess it was Saturday. We got news. We were in Long Beach, California, making our way back to San Diego, which we were going to, on the following day, fly home. We got news that my father-in-law, unfortunately, sadly, he was given about 2 to 4 weeks to live, tops. And he had been battling throat cancer for some time. He went into remission for some time, and he had really had a struggle and a fight with it. And he it came back, the news that the treatments weren't working anymore, and that the cancer was even more aggressive and had spread throughout his body in many ways. And he was given about 2 to 4 weeks to live. So as you can imagine, that was a pretty devastating day. Not so much for me. I mean, I am close to my father-in-law, but more so for my wife, who was really hoping that he would be able to kick the cancer and get back into remission. And unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen. Needless to say, we did not sleep that night. We were up all night. The next day, we had to drive down to San Diego to get home. We caught a red eye flight, so we were up all night again. Just crazy. And then we, fly into Newark, which is one of the armpits of the Northeast, if not the armpit of the Northeast. It's just an ugly, gross city, town. Smells like chemicals all the time, especially in the summer when it's humid. The New York traffic is just horrendous. That kind of goes through that region. Anyway, so we had to drive back, and it's just been everything's been very heavy the past few days. And I just say that before I get into the play, just to remind you guys that we're all in this together. Nobody is immune from these things in life happening. And I'm definitely sympathetic to any of you guys going through stuff privately. And I just wanted to share a little bit about what was going on in our lives leading up to this show and tell. So there's plenty to show and tell, and outside of cards and collecting and card selling and all that stuff. There's just a lot going on in life, and you can't always control how things are going to go. Let me get into these plays real quick. I took the advice, I guess it was, of the majority of our anchors, I'll call them, Paul, Lefty, Chad, with this play. I thought it was a nice play because it was relatively cheap. You could get in for, $8 to $9 on a rookie card, on a Trevor Lawrence, Donruss rookie card, base card. And then you could submit in bulk and get them, graded. And has a 54% gem rate, I believe, the last time I checked, which is a great opportunity for anybody who's submitting these cards. And they are in the process of being graded. I think it just went into assembly actually today. I was hoping for a quicker turnaround, but I learned something a couple weeks back. The idea that that Chad had communicated to us about, if you send in different eras or different sports, sometimes the grading can take longer. That was news to me. I didn't know that. And there were a few basketball things I sent in from the 90s, and some other things that were, went with the special that was going on for the month of, I guess it was the month of May. So anyway, it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I'm hoping to get back some 10s so that I can flip them. Another card that I got involved with was this Tua Tagovailoa. I don't even know how to say his last name still. I know him. If I saw him on the street, I would shake his hand. I would recognize him, but I'd be like, dude, I can't say your last name. Not yet. You got to give me time.
Tagovailoa.
I found this card online for $140, SGC 10. And that was actually a pretty good price. I priced it out. It was about $140, $150. I decided to go in low because I was like, you know what? If I don't get this play, it's not a big deal. But I'm going to go in low and see if this guy, wants to, sell me this card. So I put in a bid for $100. He got back to me and said he wouldn't go below 120. A couple of days later, I got a message from him saying or asking if I still wanted to buy the card for $100. Sure, why not? It's a hollow, to a hollow, and I got it in the mail, cracked it, sent it into PSA. I'm waiting to hear. I'm really hoping that it's a PSA 10 because you could sell it potentially. I think last year's mid-August, people were selling it, this same card for about $250. So that could be a substantial win, for me. We'll see though. We know how the grading process goes. Sometimes it's a bit arbitrary. So I went through with that, got that card sent out, and then the final. Sorry about that noise in the background. If you hear that, it's my dog. He's playing with one of his toys. This last play, I found about 10 of these Caleb Williams cards, these USC quarterback who's, the aspiring
Love it.
number one pick for next year's NFL draft. By all accounts, he's, head and shoulders above all of the other talented quarterbacks that are going to be in the draft. And, he's, it looks like barring injury, that he should get picked number 1 overall. I picked I bought about 10 of these cards, and I got them all in the $6 to $7 range, I believe. I saw that, if you had a PSA 10, you could sell it at this was about a month ago, at about $70 to $80. And we're going to ride the wave on this one and see what happens. As far as, selling him right before the draft, if he lasts that long, if he's not injured. I also just got the Sports Illustrated for Kids in the mail. So I'm looking at that Caleb Williams card too, and I'm looking to probably get that graded. So hopefully we can take advantage of Caleb Williams and his rise to prominence in the NCAA, and eventually, hopefully, the NFL. He is a really good quarterback. I watched him last year. I really enjoy college football a lot, so I watch a good portion of it. And he's very talented, and he's definitely has the skill set to have a great NFL experience. But we'll see. We know how that goes as well. So, all that being said, those are my plays for the week. Just wanted to check in, say hello to everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well. I do want to add one last thing before I move on. I did listen to the entire show. I didn't get to listen to it all live, but I saw you guys pick the gauntlet choices at the end of the last episode, and I have to agree with the Duke of Southern Sports Cards, Duke Dodson, Denny one time, that Alcaraz is the pick. I played tennis as a kid growing up in middle school, which was kind of ironic because I grew up in a working class town. Most working class people don't play tennis, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. My dad paid for lessons once a week, and then I played in high school. So I had a good time doing that. And I do watch tennis, not everything, but I watch it pretty regularly, especially the majors. And this guy Alcaraz, not Alcatraz as Chad called him, but Alcaraz is I think he's going to be one of the best players of his generation. He's very, very mentally tough, and he's very young. And barring injury, I just can't see. He just really strikes me as one of those guys, like a Federer, not in the way he plays, but in his mental toughness, to Djokovic's, those kinds of guys. So I would go with Alcaraz as well. Have a great week, everybody. I appreciate any prayers and thoughts about things that are going on here with my family. And I can't believe I have to do this, but I'm not sure what this is going to do to me attending the Chicago event in a few weeks. I really don't know. I have been planning on going for 6 months. I wanted to meet all of you guys. My only saving grace is that if I can't go, that next year it's in Cleveland, and that's about 6 hours closer to me, which would make the drive pretty easy. But I will keep in contact with Paul and all of you guys on what's going on. Have a great week. I know this was a long show and tell, but just real, just bring things real to you guys about life and stuff that's going on. All right, take care, guys.
Borowski, great to see you, man. Sorry to hear about your father-in-law. That's not something we ever want anyone to have to go through, and definitely thoughts and prayers with him. Thank you for sharing that. And we certainly would love to see you at the National. We hope that you and your dad can still be in the motorcycle and sidecar to get there, but we understand life and more important things than coming to the National sometimes. And so again, thoughts and prayers with you. Great submission. Really appreciate it. Love the Trevor Lawrence play. Love the props to Duke, Denny one-time Dotson. I was certainly in agreement that Alcaraz, not Traz, Chad, would be the play there. And it certainly materialized. I mean, he won Wimbledon. I threw it out there as a quick flip. Not sure any of you were able to pull it off, but if you were, you're welcome. And hopefully you made some money. Brian Steeler 714 is saying, when cracking slabs, I prefer to use a hacksaw to cut off the corners. Cuts like butter and no risk of damage. Cracking with cutters can be unpredictable. Brian, I highly encourage you and challenge you to submit a show and tell with you doing that. I would love to see that, and I'm sure the audience would as well. Be sure to use your safety goggles. And up next is Paul Schmitz, Buckeye Bill. Take it away.
Good morning, Sports Card Strategy Nation. This is Paul Schmitz, aka Buckeye Bill. It's been a few weeks since my last show and tell. I'd like to submit a short show and tell here on building some inventory for Bowman Chrome First based on Lefty and Dr. Chad's feedback and articles. And hopefully within a month or so, I get a few more PSA submissions and can have some larger reveals on some of the plays that Dr. Chad has. So I'm going to turn my camera around and show you what I've started putting in my inventory. Thanks. So this show and tell is going to be giving a brief overview of what I put together so far with my Bowman Chrome First. So I'm a longtime collector, was out of it for the last 10 years, got back into it over the winter, and just started getting reintroduced to Bowman Chrome. So I've been a premium member of the show here and listening to the feedback, the plays of Dr. Chad and Lefty's rankings and Paul's rankings, and started to build that kind of that inventory of Bowman Chrome First that you could, easily flip, when they get the call up or some big news for certain players. So again, I'm starting relatively from scratch. I don't have a huge inventory, but I wanted to share what I've put together so far, and I'm continuing to grow this as I find the right deals online. So starting off first, one of Lefty's favorite players when Bowman Chrome came out this past spring, Spencer Jones, and I'll just go through these quickly. This is I've got a few of the kind of higher end parallels, but most of these are just the Bowman Chrome First. This is the Mojo, I think the silver pack. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, 17 Spencer Jones Bowman Chrome First. Those are for a rainy day. I probably won't send them off to be graded for a while. I don't think he's due to be called up till next year at the earliest. Justin Crawford, he was another name that's mentioned. I've got a Lunar, and the rest are Bowman Chrome First. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Tons. Awesome.
These 14 Justin Crawfords. Again, these are kind of for a rainy day for the call up whenever that shall be in the next year or two. Basically holds. Another name that may happen quicker. This is Tyler Soderstrom. This is a refractor, but the rest are Bowman Chrome First 2020s. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Chad loves this guy. So does Lefty. But I think Chad especially.
We got 12 Tyler Soderstroms. I think he'll probably be called up, I don't know, this season or early next. Another name, I probably jumped too quickly on this, Zach Geloff. I know he's on the list, but I think he's pretty far down the list. Again, I got 3 of his Lunars.
The Lunar's kind of a color match based on this camera. This
12
camera
total
angle submission.
12 in total of Bowman Chrome First.
So,
and I think 1 paper there. So again, those are more of a longer term hold. And these other ones I don't have. I'm trying to get at least 10 of each. So I'm working on these as well. James Wood. I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 Chrome First, 1 paper. But I have purchased recently 4 more on eBay that are in shipment, so I'll be at my 10 mark there. So I should be good to go with James Wood, and then Colton Cowser. I'm a little late to the punch here. I believe these are 19 or 18 Bowman Chromes. I've got 5 here saved. So these have jumped up. Can't get quite the deal that I got when I bought these about a month ago. So unfortunately, I didn't act quickly. So again, I'm going to keep building the James Wood. There's a few other folks on the list. My goal is to have an inventory of 10 of 10. So 10 of these Bowman Chrome First, at least 10 of each, kind of always in the inventory queue, waiting for that call up or that big blockbuster news. So anyways, wanted to share that. Hopefully that's interesting to some folks, and look forward to the names and rankings you guys put on a weekly basis, and sniping these off eBay. Thanks,
Buckeye Bill. We appreciate it, man. We love when our suggestions and tips and advice and rankings and articles get listened to by the audience, and the plays get executed because we believe that you will be making money, and we don't. Lefty Chad and I never suggest things that we're not actually doing ourselves. And so all of those plays we believe in, and we love that you're doing them. DKY Sports mentions Jackson Churio, and he's my guy. I will elaborate more on Monday's episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show. Great work, Buckeye Bill. Up next, it's our guy. It's time to end the show with the shoes, but I have 2 submissions from Shoes, and this is because I was out last week and we did not have a show and tell. So Shoes actually submitted one for last week and for this week. He's the only one that did that, and I'm not surprised because he is the Shoes. So I'm at a loss here. Like, I'm not even sure which one I should play first. Should I play last week's submission first or this week's submission first? I've got it queued up to go last week's submission first. So Shoes, what do you got for us?
Good morning, Sports Card Strategy Show and Tellers. I hope everybody is well. It is vacation time in the Shoes household, and I am excited. Chad, Paul, Chase, and Lefty, thank you guys so much for your advice. I've definitely narrowed down my list to just 3 NBA players, and I'm probably just going to look for just like maybe 2, 3 football players, just like if the deal is good enough. Like, because Chase said if there's a good deal, grab it, and that's probably what I'm going to do in the football sector, but mainly NBA, guys. I just wanted to thank you guys for your advice, and really, guys, I think that's it this week. I need to get packed. If you guys keep me here at this desk all the time showing you cards, I can't have a life. I can't go pack my bags to go to a vacation. Vacation starting. You guys have a great morning. Hope you guys have a good day.
I think he almost accidentally chopped Leslie in the face. But he says no faces were hurt making this video. I think Shoes is back.
Good morning, Sports Card Strategy Show and Tellers. We are back from the Dallas Card Show, and man, what a show it was. I got to meet Chase from the Texas Roadshow. He was a pleasant and awesome guy to meet. Chase, I hope we get to do business together soon, and I hope that we get to hang out, man, because really I was only there for the weekend. Guys, there was so much that happened within this weekend at that card show that I can't even start to explain. But I do have cards to show you, so let's get to it. To the case. Mrs. Shoes did an excellent job with her strategy, guys. She wasn't going to pay anything more than 70% of what that price tag had on it, and sometimes less. So, with that being said, she found this Jalen Williams number 138 RTA out of 49 on-card auto. Very beautiful card. You know, we're Hogs fans around here, and he came from the University of Arkansas going to the Thunder. Didn't really play too much his first season. He's played a lot in the summer league. Hopefully this next season he'll get to see a little more playing time. And next up we have a 2020 Inception Randy Arozarena PSA.
That's Leslie's
10
guy.
Rookie card.
Yeah.
Now, I believe this is only a Pop 7, and the guy wanted 60, and we gave him 40 for it. So, Mrs.
Well
Shoes, not bad on your part. Glad we finally found you a Randy card that you were glad to boast about now. Next up, we have Mini Shoes. Let's get to it. Mini Shoes did well. He was looking for Pokemon cards, but got some sports cards in the mix. One of the first cards I'm going to show you, we can't really show you because it's too reflective, and I'll show you everything in the background, but I'll show you the back. It's a 1991 Michael Jordan scoring card, and it's the numbers AW1. I'll put a picture up here soon to show you show you guys what the front looks like. Next, we have a 1996-97 Kobe Bryant Encore rookie card. Now, he got this in a lot with a bunch of cards that me, Mrs. Shoes, and Junior Shoes picked out for $35. And it was an 11-card lot. The guy put a bunch of cards down on the table. He's like, hey, man, you pick which Kobe card you want. And he happened to pick the one rookie card that was on the table. Good job, Junior Shoes. Last up for him, we have the 2022 Mewtwo V. Now, it is a Gem Mint 10. I'm not sure what the population count on this sucker is, but I believe the guy had $40 on it, and Junior Shoes talked him down to 25.
Junior.
Not Junior Shoes, Mini Shoes.
Mini. Nice
I
job,
messed up
Mini
their names.
Shoes.
He's going to kick my boot. He's going to kick my boot. He's helping us behind the camera today. All right, guys. Next, we have Junior Shoes. Let's get into him. Junior Shoes for coming in clutch these past few weeks. And thank you for coming in clutch this week. First up, we have it's the Michael Jordan Flight School, card number 6 from 1991. An absolute beaut of a card. Absolute beaut.
This is a very cool card with Spike Lee on it, too.
He got that in a lot deal for $10 with another Michael Jordan card. So there was 2 cards total. Next, we have a little story. Junior Shoes got to participate in his first break. And his first break was given to him by a man named Matt. And it was of an Optic 2022 hobby box. And we just want to say, Matt, thank you so much for letting Phoenix participate in that, because he got a bunch of good hits. Just thank you so much. First up, we have this Kenny Pickett base, number 201.
That's a good
Very
card.
nice card. Very nice card.
Optic, rated rookie.
Up next, you might remember this guy. He was mentioned by Andy from the football card quest. I almost said the football strategy show. The football card quest, and it's a wide receiver from the Texans. I'll give you guys a few seconds to guess who it is.
Nico Collins.
It's Nico Collins. And Junior Shoes happened to get 2 of them in this break. Silver. I was like, hey, man, 2 silvers? I think these things go for around $2 or $4. But Andy said that he's doing well. I would hold on to these, maybe get them graded. So that's what he's doing. And last but not least, we have another Nico Collins. But this one was from a pack that me and him opened on Father's Day. It is the orange laser prism.
Yeah, those are sick.
Very beautiful card. And if Andy's correct, we think Nico's going to pop off. So we're holding them around here in the Shoes household. Last but not least, we have my cards. Let's get to it. Now, for my cards. When I say my cards, I mean Mrs. Shoes cards too, because she helped find this player. We had 3 players on a list, and that's who we were hunting for the whole time. And we found 3 of his cards in the wild. First off, we have a 2022 Austin Reeves Panini Prism number 165 rookie card. Red cracked ice. Very beautiful card. You can see I've already given it the clean off, plus the 1-2 shakedown.
Yeah, buddy.
Very beautiful card. Glad we found this. We got this in a lot with 11 other cards for $40. Very cool. Very glad we got it. Next up, we have another red cracked ice Austin Reeves number 165.
That one looks better centered than the other one.
And the only problem with this thing is I gave it the clean with the pantyhose, the microfiber, everything, and it still has fingerprints on it. So, like, what do we do here? Does anybody know what to do on this? I'm taking suggestions, guys. I'm taking suggestions. Last but not least, we have a Austin Reeves, number 165. Panini Prism rookie card. Such a surprise, right? But this one is the white. I think this one is, hold on, let me look at my list here. Silver cracked dice. My bad. I didn't know if it was called white cracked dice or silver cracked dice. Very beautiful card.
Good looking card.
Believe we got this in a lot for $35 with 8 other cards, and this other Austin Reeves we got for $25 by itself. You guys have no idea how much fun we had at that Dallas show, and you also have no idea how much trouble it took me to make this video on vacation because I'm so freaking tired. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great week.
We definitely enjoyed it. Great work, Shoes family. Love the submissions from the entire Shoes family every week. Leslie, Hunter, Oh My Shoes, Mini Shoes, Junior Shoes. Great work, guys. We love all of you. And DKY Sports says, great show. Love all the collections and cool cards. Always enjoy the show and great tips on shipping cards. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and listening to the Sports Card Strategy Show and Tell. I am Paul Hickey with nooffseason.com. Thank you for making this community family show website what it is. And can't wait to see all of you again on Monday. For those of you who are premium members, I'll see you tomorrow on the Overflow Show. Everybody, thanks so much. Have a great day.